Hi, welcome to Body and Breathing Break. My name is Starr Sanborn, and I am a yoga therapist. Have just a few practicum hours left and just completed my last module. I have been training for, oh my goodness, 10 years in therapeutic yoga. I want to make these videos short because I know a lot of people may not have the space or the time. And I'd also like this to be something that you could do for a stress reliever. My husband and I are both helping support the first responders and healthcare providers. And my hope is I can provide just a short breathing and body exercise to reduce stress and to calm the nervous system and to relax the body. So I'm going to start standing. I do have on what is called a Buteyko breathing belt. And I won't get into that now, but because of my history of thoracic outlet syndrome, I wear this belt to help me bring the breath down into my diaphragm. And I can tell you more about that later, but if you're wondering what I have on, this has been very helpful in not only supporting my upper body, but helping me to breathe more diaphragmatically, which is very important right now and always. I'm going to sit and show you some simple movement and one breathing technique, which oddly will involve 2 spoons. So typically yoga practitioners, when they valve their nose in pranayama or breathing, we use our hands. However, with the pandemic, we're not supposed to touch our faces, which is very, very important. So during our training, one of our trainers suggested using spoons. So if you have a couple spoons and you want to run and grab them, feel free, or you can watch me and run this later and try it yourself. All right, so I'm going to sit down and want to just talk about posture. Posture is so important with breathing and with movement. If you're standing or sitting all day, there's a lot of tendency to have a head forward syndrome, especially with technology. So as you can see, my head is forward here, my chest is opened up, and if you were to look at me from the side, my head would be way forward of my shoulders. So I'm going to slowly draw my head back, and you could imagine that your ears, if you drew a line from your ears down to the top of your shoulders, if you had a pair of earrings on, that it would line up with the top of your shoulders. I have a block. I'm going to place the block between my inner thighs. It's okay if you don't have a block. If you're in a break room or somewhere, you could even maybe grab a couple books or maybe a pillow, a firm pillow. It's not required. The main idea is that you're using the block to keep your feet, knees, and hips hip width apart. So the block gives you that reference. And the reason for that is that we want to move in alignment starting from the hips. So the hips and the knees and feet are aligned, so we're not straining the outside muscles or inside muscles of the legs. And it's so important to support the upper body for functional breathing. So without too much more explanation, I just invite you to settle into where you are. So if you're seated, please bring your awareness to your feet. And you can do this standing as well. So if you're standing, bring awareness to your feet. Feel your feet hip width apart. Press your feet into the ground. As you press your feet into the ground, if you have a block, you could squeeze the block a little and feel the sense of grounding coming up from your feet. So try that. Just press your feet in and then release your feet. Notice the difference of just a little bit of pressure with your feet. So from your feet, can you bring yourself up from the ground? So I'll tell you what I mean. You're going to press your feet in and then squeeze the block, or imagine you're squeezing the block. Pull in your abdominals. Let's try that again. Just release your feet. Press your feet into the floor, squeeze the block, pull in the abdominals. And then imagine that you have a string at the top of your head lifting you from the top of your head. So you're making space in your spine. Your feet are grounded and your head is lifted. The crown of your head is lifted toward the ceiling. And gently draw your chin just a little bit down towards your chest. You don't want to strain here. You want to come back to thinking about the earring or the middle of the ear over your shoulder. If you like, you can close your eyes and just feel yourself grounded through your feet and through the top of your head being lifted. So there's almost this pull in two directions. So there's more space, but you're not floating off and you're not severely grounded into the earth. There's this sort of suspension in both directions. So as you feel this, close your lips if your mouth is open. Breathing through your nose whenever you can, very important, and I'll touch on that later. So just observe your breath. Inhaling through the nose, you may feel cool air coming through the nose into the back of the throat. And gentle, relaxed exhale as you allow the breath to come up and out through the nose. So a cooling breath in, gentle exhale, warm breath out. Breathing through your nose. Let your breath bring your attention to this present moment. Feel your body bring your awareness to this moment. As you drop in with curiosity, check in on how you're doing. How are you really? We spend so much time being busy in this time of crisis. It's hard to check in. And it's so important for our emotional and physical health. Sometimes it helps to think that you're observing a friend. So if you were looking at yourself as if you were looking at a good friend, what thoughts are going through your friend's head right now? How does your friend's body feel? Is there lack of light? Is there exhaustion, fatigue? Or maybe there's a sense of joy and gratitude. Touching in with a breath, allowing your breath to bring you present. Feel your feet grounded, top of your head lifted. And then just softly opening your eyes. It's uncomfortable to look at the screen. Please just have your eyes point downward in a soft gaze. And then if you have a block, I invite you to release the block down by your side. We're just going to do a seated cat-cow. This is something you can do anywhere. You can also do it standing. You're going to place your hands on the tops of your knees. And you're just going to round your back. Just rounding to that nice cat. Tuck the chin down. And then you're going to slowly come forward. Think about coming forward from the base of your spine and slowly curling up. Thinking about one vertebra of the spine all the way up to the mid-spine, up to the shoulders, and then allow the shoulders to draw down the spine. So like you're hugging your heart in the back. And let's try that again. This time as you round into cat, you're going to inhale. And then as you come into the cow posture, pulling your abdominals again. Think about rolling up from the base of your spine. One vertebra at a time. Low back, mid-back, mid-spine, lifting up through the heart center. Keep the abdominals engaged. And can you think about tucking your shoulder blades, the tip of your shoulder blades to the back of your heart? So I'll do that again. So if I have my shoulders forward, I'm rounded and my shoulder blades can't hug the back of my heart. If I bring my shoulders up and down, so think about your shoulder blades as wings, and the tips of your wings are hugging the back of your heart. Your abdominals are engaged and protecting the front of your body and your heart and your respiratory system and so much more. All right, this time we're going to round, but rather than being linear, can you bring a little bit of kind of what we call undulation here? So we're working with connective tissue, and I'll explain more later, but essentially it's just oiling. I like to think about oiling the body, oiling the joints, oiling the tissue, releasing stress. Another quote that I picked up this last training is the issues are in your tissues. So as we hold stress, we kind of tend to pull in and contract all the muscles and tense everything. So this is the opposite. The opposite is, can you move through the whole upper body? Maybe belly dancers, you know how they can move through their rib cage, but gentle. So it's non-linear, non-pattern, exploration. There is no right or wrong other than no pain. Smaller movements are usually more helpful because often we use our body in big ways. So can you touch into maybe even the tiny muscles at the back of your neck? Bring the upper body to stillness. And just a little tiny bit of micro movement. You can close your eyes. Again, exploring, observing. You could go back to observing your friend. What's going on in my friend's neck? What's going on in my friend's shoulders? What are the connections? And then wiggle yourself to stillness. So sometimes it's nice to not stop suddenly, but a slow, gradual stop. Like you're just calming the waters till you come to a glassy, calm pool of water. And then again, close your eyes if you're comfortable. Notice your breath now, just that little bit of movement. Inhaling gently through the nose. Relaxed, exhale through the nose. It's observing your breath. Visualize that cool pool of water. You might even feel a cool, gentle breeze washing over your whole body, touching into all of the places that feel tight or maybe stressed, tense, and soothing and calming the body and the mind and the heart. Let your breath bring you back to this moment, soothing the thoughts as they come and go. Just let them come and let them go. As you continue to follow the breath, the mind will follow the breath and eventually settle. But it's okay if it's still busy. Just accepting what is sometimes can help us calm. If your eyes are closed, I invite you to softly open your eyes now. You can relax your hands down by your side. You can come into a little bit of that undulation again. So just remembering you can do that seated or standing. And also the awareness of trying not to move from the upper traps. That's where we move most of the time. Trying to get the arms to move. Actually, our arms move from the rib cage. So just bringing yourself back into some wiggly, comforting, soothing movement. And I mentioned the spoons earlier, so I will show you what I mean. Some of you may know what alternate nostril breathing is. It's a balancing and calming breath. And it's essentially breathing through one nostril at a time, but in a specific way to calm the body. So this is also called pranayama in yoga, and the breath can be very powerful in calming the body. There's also breath for many things. Sometimes we need breath to get more energy, but this one is pretty good for most people, actually quite good for most people, to help balance and calm. So I'm just going to reach down for my spoons. And I happen to have 2 plastic spoons. And because my husband goes to work every day and works with first responders, we have a very strict protocol here. But I'm assuming all of you have a strict protocol and are doing all of the things that will keep you and your family and friends and our community safe. But just a reminder before I do anything that is involved with my face or just in general moving into the next activity with my hands, I have some alcohol wipes. You may have some Purell. You're not going to use your hands. I'm just starting this off by just wiping my hands down with the alcohol wipe before I pick up the spoons. I did manage to find some Purell. I'm using it very sparingly. We have managed to find some Purell that smells like different types of candy at QFC. So we pick them up as we're able. So I really, really cherish this bottle of Purell. I haven't had any for quite a while. Here are 2 plastic spoons, and they've already been washed in soap and water. But I'm going to take my Purell and I'm going to Purell them. So if you don't have all of these things right now, you can try this later. Feel free to play this video at any time. So I'm going to Purell the spoons and make sure to get the excess off. And I'll go ahead and Purell all the way down the spoon. And then taking the excess Purell, and I'll just wipe it on my arms and finish up with the hands. Okay, so here's the interesting part. Usually when we do alternate nostril breathing, I'm not going to touch my face, but you would bring your hand to your face and you would place one of your fingers on the inset of the right nostril and one on the inset of the left. So I am just bringing my hand to my face about 6 inches away. I'm not doing it, but just to give you the idea of there's a specific way of valving your hands normally in yoga. But the spoon idea I think is brilliant. So you're going to take the back of the spoon and you're going to place one spoon on the inset of your right nostril and one on the inset of your left. So the spoons are just resting on your nostrils. I'm going to explain it and then I'll talk you through it. I won't be actually doing the breathing because I want to be able to talk you through it well. But with alternate nostril breathing, it's also called Nadi Shodhana, a Sanskrit word. Don't need to remember it. You might hear that in a yoga class. So we always begin it with Nadi Shodhana of valving off the right nostril. So just press your spoon into your right nostril so you're valving off the right. Lips are together. Gently inhale through your left nostril. Release the right nostril. Close the left nostril with your spoon and exhale right. Now you're going to close off the right nostril. Inhale through the left nostril. Close off the left. Exhale through the right. Inhale through the right. Close off the right. Exhale through the left. Inhale through the left. Close off the left. Exhale through the right. Good. And then just bring your spoons in front of you for a moment and breathing through both nostrils nice and low and slow. See if you can bring the breath down into the diaphragm. So it's not a big inflation, just breathing through both nostrils. Inhale, a little flare of the diaphragm, and exhale, a little drop. So I apologize, my description at the beginning was incorrect. So I'm going to take you through this again. So please bring your spoons to your nostrils. You're going to begin by valving off or closing the right nostril. Inhale through the left nostril. Valve off the left nostril, release the right, exhale through the right. Inhale through the right nostril. Valve off the right, exhale left. Inhale through the left nostril. Valve off the left nostril, exhale right. Inhale through the right nostril. Valve off through the right nostril, exhale left. And then bring your spoons down. You can place them to the side. And just place your hands on your lap. Again, inviting your breath through both nostrils. Lips are together. Inhaling cool, calm. Exhaling, soothing, relaxed. Inhale, cool, calm. Exhale, soothing, relaxed. Just a few breath cycles on your own. Feel your feet on the ground. Feel yourself grounded into the earth. Feel yourself held from the top of your head, so you're grounded upward as well. We're making space in your spine and in your body for relaxation. Standing strong into the earth and feeling that space and lift from the top of the head. More space, more relaxation, more ease. I invite you to bring a sense of peace and calm into your body. Allow the breath to breathe you. Invite your mind to follow your breath. If you get distracted, bring yourself back to the breath. That's all that's needed. Be kind to yourself. Just as you would one of your dear friends. Now softly open your eyes. You can keep your gaze downward focused. Maybe keeping a soft focus inward for a moment. Just reflecting on what a few minutes of breathing and moving can do for your well-being. It is my deepest honor, and I'm so grateful to offer what I know as a budding yoga therapist to all of you that are on the front lines, offering some sense of rest and relaxation, as well as everyone that's viewing this video. We're all caregivers. We're all on the front lines in our own lives. But being out there in trauma all day long and caring for others has an extra impact. I invite all of you to take the time to take care of yourselves. And if you're comfortable, I invite you to just inhale, raising your arms up to where you're comfortable raising your arms, joining your hands together. Draw your hands down towards your heart, resting your hands at your heart. The light in me sees the light in all of you. Namaste. See you next time.